first on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's Thursday, February 19th. We're so happy you joined us today. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Hannah Fink.
Hannah, we had a muggy start to the morning this morning.
We did, and there's still fog on some of our coastal cameras. Like, you can't see anything on our Orange Beach camera right now. Granted, that camera's really high up, but even in Dauphin Island, it's still a bit of a struggle right now as well. It is warm. It's one of those things we call advection fog, when the water is super cold and the air temperature is super warm. It basically causes condensation in the air, and this is why we're getting that look over in Dauphin Island right now. You can't really see the water out there because of that advection fog forming. It a little breezy out there. You can see that flag waving as well. Over the next 5 hours, we're going to stay pretty much with that cloudy sky look. Maybe some sunshine by the lunchtime hours. We'll be in the upper 60s, about 70 degrees by the time we get into this afternoon. And temperatures right now are definitely on the mild side. We're getting close to 80 degrees, and it's not even noon, especially in our areas more north of us near Highway 84. We can see lower 80s for a high today. Right now, 74 in Mobile, 73 in Pensacola, 79 in Crestview. Just got 78 in Milton, 77 in Evergreen, 75 in Grove Hill, and 78 over in Leakesville. And it feels humid out there. We've had that southwesterly, southeasterly wind the last couple of days. It brings in that warm, moist, and humid Gulf Coast air. So that's why we're getting closer to that noticeable category. And you're going to feel that up until that front passes this weekend. So for the next 5 hours, temperatures are going to continue to get closer to 80 degrees, upper 70s by noon, 80 degrees by 3 p.m. Could see a little bit more sunshine during the early parts of the lunchtime hours, but mostly cloudy skies stay pretty consistent throughout the entirety of the day today. And look at this, well above average, usually about 67 degrees this time of year. We're going to be in the upper 70s, maybe even lower 80s in some areas. So it's definitely going to be a warm and humid day with wind gusts about 20 to 25 miles per hour throughout the entirety of the day today. Like I mentioned, that'll stay consistent until that front passes this weekend. And then tonight's forecast, it's going to be another warm one, but we do have some changes in the forecast. Have our next rain chance, but our temperatures are going to change dramatically. More updates on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Hannah, thank you. First in our headlines on midday today, police arresting former British Prince Andrew earlier this morning on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Authorities are investigating whether he committed a crime by leaking documents to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Fox News correspondent Stephanie Bennett brings us the latest now from London.
Police searching the home of former Prince Andrew Thursday, now under arrest over his ties to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, charged with suspicion of misconduct in public office.
This is the most spectacular fall from grace for a member of the royal family in modern times.
Earlier this month, authorities said they were investigating claims that Andrew shared confidential government documents with Epstein while serving as UK trade envoy back in 2010. King Charles, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's older brother, saying in a statement, quote, "What now follows is the full, fair and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation." Andrew and the royal family have long been plagued by his alleged dealings with Epstein. He was also accused of sexual misconduct by Virginia Roberts Guthrie, whose family released a statement saying, quote, "Our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty." Andrew was stripped of his royal titles last year, but continues to deny any wrongdoing. Today also marks his 66th birthday. The charge of misconduct in public office carries a potential maximum sentence of life in prison. At Buckingham Palace, Stephanie Bennett, Fox News.
And meanwhile, Bill Gates, we're also looking at this story as well. Looks like we're having some technical issues here. One moment here. Okay, Bill Gates is bowing out of a keynote address he was set to give at an AI summit in India. His foundation made the announcement shortly before the address was to take place, saying the move was to ensure the focus remained on the summit. Recently released documents have highlighted Gates' ties with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. And new today, Jeffrey Epstein's ties to Harvard appear deeper than previously known. Newly released Justice Department files show Epstein continued directing money toward Harvard scientists years after the university said it cut ties with him. Emails detail plans for an investment company to be run by Harvard dentist George Church. And newly released files also support a Harvard investigation that found Epstein helped biologist Martin Nowak raise funds. And previously unreleased photos appear to show Church and Nowak visited Epstein's infamous private island. Church and Nowak, though, have not commented on the documents, and neither have been accused of wrongdoing. Both still work at Harvard. University officials say they are reviewing the latest documents and weighing next steps. And the inaugural meeting of President Trump's Board of Peace convening today to provide a status check on the Gaza peace plan. Some members have upped their pledge to $7 billion, while others are pledging personnel to help rebuild. But overshadowing all the talk of peace is the ominous drumbeat of war. Fox's Caroline Shively reports now from Washington.
President Trump launching his Board of Peace in Washington Thursday with dozens of countries focused on rebuilding Gaza after its war with Israel.
An easy word to say, but a hard word to produce: peace.
The total cost to rebuild could reach $70 billion. Members are also expected to commit thousands of military members for a stabilization force.
Gaza must not get stuck in a no man's land between peace and war.
Some of the U.S.'s closest allies, including France and Germany, have not joined the board and instead renewed their support for the United Nations.
We are hearing the chattering class criticizing the structure of the board, that it's unconventional, that it's unprecedented. Again, the old ways were not working.
But while today's meeting focuses on ending one war, another may be brewing. It comes as the president has ordered a buildup of military assets in the Middle East to pressure Iran to give up its nuclear program. Iran, meanwhile, is holding military drills with Russia.
Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days.
When lawmakers return from recess next week, Congressman Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie plan to force a vote that would require Trump to get congressional approval for an attack on Iran. The assets now in place make it possible for an attack as early as this weekend. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
And today, the reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's safe return has risen. This comes as investigators move to advanced methods to test DNA found near her Arizona home. Hundreds of federal and state investigators are working this case, but they still have not officially named a suspect. And with the search for Nancy Guthrie nearing its third week now, forensic scientists are turning to family trees to try and find the suspect by identifying potential relatives. It comes after DNA found on a glove near Nancy's home failed to produce any hits in an FBI database, but investigators need to limit how many times a sample is tested. Genealogy testing, though, can take weeks or months, but 19 days into the case, speed is critical.
There are a finite number of times that you can test the DNA. It's completely destroyed and consumed in the process. So it's very important to run as few tests as possible.
FBI investigators have also been in contact with Mexican officials about Nancy herself since she was taken from her home 60 miles north of the U.S.-Mexico border. Though officials say this is standard operating procedure for cases in the area. Listen to this. Bond is set at $1 million for an Alabama mother whose 2-year-old daughter disappeared. Adrienne Reed is charged with false reporting to local law enforcement authorities. Reed claims her daughter disappeared from their home early Monday, but investigators say she's lying. Right now, she is the only suspect in the disappearance of Genesis Reed. Prosecutors also say she is a flight risk and has hidden or destroyed evidence relevant to this case. According to police, Genesis was reported missing early Monday morning. Well, when someone goes missing, the clock starts ticking. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency's Fusion Center works behind the scenes to help locate them and bring them home safely. Alabama uses 4 types of alerts: Amber Alerts for confirmed child abductions, emergency missing child alerts, missing and endangered persons alerts, often involving elderly adults or those with medical conditions, and finally, Blue Alerts for incidents involving law enforcement. Director Jay Mosley says this mission is simple.
We've got hundreds right now in Alabama that are missing. So bringing awareness to that, bringing awareness to the process all it takes from finding someone missing all the way to issuing the alert and then hopefully with a safe recovery.
In 2025, the Fusion Center issued 90 alerts statewide, including just 1 Amber Alert, 67 missing and endangered persons alerts, 21 emergency missing child alerts, and 1 Blue Alert. And as we continue to follow several developments in recent days over missing person cases, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency speaking out about what officials are doing. Sarah Wall is taking a look at the system in place to alert when people go missing, how that works, and the different types of alerts issued. Plus, we have some new information on the cases we are following as well. You can find In Depth with Sarah Wall missing persons cases available right now on our Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. And also on Midday, we're learning more about a deadly officer-involved shooting in downtown Pensacola. Officials say it all happened yesterday afternoon at a condominium complex on East Garden Street. Investigators say when police got to the scene, the suspect, who has not been named, came out with a gun and refused to drop it. That's when officers say they fired shots. We're told the suspect was wounded and taken to a hospital where he passed away. A nearby business owner who did not want to go on camera says she was working when she first heard those gunshots.
I heard about 4 gunshots take off, and then the second I jumped up out of my seat, I saw a police officer rush to the scene about, I would say, within 30 seconds. It was pretty quick.
And Pensacola police say all officers who responded have now been placed on paid administrative leave. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is now handling this case. And meanwhile, a judge heard arguments Wednesday on whether he should grant bail to D'Angelo Merrill, charged with murder in what police say was a case of mistaken identity. Prosecutors allege that Merrill forced his way into an apartment at Pathways Apartment Homes back in September 2021, seeking revenge for his girlfriend's shooting. James Jones, a retired Army veteran on kidney dialysis who had nothing to do with the prior violence, died from gunshot wounds. Merrill previously had been denied bail because of a probation revocation. And now that Merrill's sentence in that is over, his lawyers argue he's entitled to bond. Mobile County Circuit Judge Ben Brooks did not immediately rule and will have a decision at a later date. We will keep you updated in this case. It's 11:12 now, still to come. Bienville orthopedic specialists talk about the steps to take when you injure your knee. Hannah, some great reminders if folks are heading out into the warm weather to maybe take a jog or go on a walk.
Yes, it'll be warm for now, but there are changes ahead as we have our next rain chance going into this weekend. It's going to lead to some major temperature changes. Take a look at this. Our high temperatures, spring and then back to winter. We're going to be below average by the end of this coming weekend. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit.
If you've ever twisted your knee during a pickup basketball game or landed wrong on the soccer field, you know that sinking feeling and, of course, the questions that follow. How bad is it? Will I need surgery? And how long will I be out? Well, today we're diving into all of that and more with someone who answers these questions every single day. Please join me now in welcoming Dr. Christopher Patton from Bienville Orthopedic Group. Dr. Patton, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So this is obviously a very timely conversation for those who are competitive like myself on the pickleball court. When someone gets injured, for instance, on the court, how do you determine what injury they have?
Well, the first thing you want to do is take a history. What happened? Did you hear or feel a pop? Did you twist your knee? Did you fall on your knee? That's important, taking a good history, and that can help eliminate certain things. And then, of course, you want to do a physical exam and do some tests on the knee and to see about stability. And then after you do a history and a physical examination, we look at x-rays, make sure that nothing's broken. And a lot of times there is nothing broken. And if we have to, we can get an MRI test, which is a fancy test to look at the soft tissues of the knee.
Okay, and I assume that not all knee injuries require surgery, but what are some of those telltale signs that they do?
Well, often if you have sudden onset of swelling, particularly within an hour, that can be a sign that you tore one of the major ligaments in your knee called the ACL or anterior cruciate ligament. Also, big pops in the knee that suddenly you have a difficulty bending or straightening out your knee can be a cartilage tear called the meniscus, and often they require surgery. So there are certain things in the knee that you don't need surgery for, and of course most of the things we see don't need surgery, but there are certain structures in the knee that can get damaged that do require surgery.
Sure, and I know that knee injuries impact every demographic, but who do you primarily see in your office?
Well, I see all ages, from the young folks all the way to older people, particularly now with pickleball. There's a lot of knee injuries in all age groups because it's the fastest growing sport in America. So, and you do see a lot of knee injuries with pickleball.
Absolutely, especially right now. I'm in the pickleball crowd, like I said earlier. If surgery is necessary on the knee, though, how long is the recovery?
Well, depending on what the structure that you're taking care of, it can be anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks recovery or 6 to 9 months from a major ligament reconstruction.
Gotcha. I know that you're the expert on this topic. You see people who have knee injuries every single day. If someone would like to see you, how can they do that?
Well, you can reach out on the phone at area code 228-230-2663 or reach out to BienvilleOrtho.com.
Wonderful. Dr. Patton, thank you so much for being here today. If you're watching now and you believe this interview would be helpful for you or someone else in your life, or if you'd simply like to schedule an appointment with Dr. Patton, you can do that by visiting our website, fox10tv.com. Dr. Patton, thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Taking a live look outside right now, this time at our Daphne Cameron. Yes, you're seeing that correctly. We're seeing some fog with the cloudy conditions we have right now, the warm temperatures and the cold waters. It's setting up for pretty much a foggy afternoon, especially with no sunlight to help us out either. And that's going to stay pretty consistent throughout the day and into this weekend. Our weather headlines, mostly cloudy and breezy conditions for our day today. Wind gusts up to about 25 miles per hour, especially into this afternoon. Probably noticed it yesterday. It's going to be the case today, as well as going into the weekend, going into our next front moving through. That's going to bring us some scattered rain through the end of this week. And then after that, major temperature changes are on the way. We've been well above average, where we're going to looks like we're going to get one more shot of winter before we go into our spring. But forecast highs today, well above average. Some of us in the lower 80s today, especially near Highway 84. That's well above average. Usually about 67 degrees this time of year. We're going to be near 80 degrees for a high in Mobile, 75 in Gulf Shores, 77 in Navarre, 82 in Evergreen, 81 in Grove Hill, and 81 over in Lucedale. And this afternoon, we're going to continue to see mostly cloudy skies, maybe a little bit more sunshine poking through by the time we get into the lunchtime hours. That'll help us out with our fog, especially near the bay and near the coastline. The fog has been an issue all morning long. We'll be in the upper 70s, maybe even 80 degrees by 3 p.m. this afternoon, back into the upper 70s going towards the dinner time hours. That'll be the case into our evening as well. We'll be in the upper 60s by 8 p.m. So it's going to be another warm and muggy evening as well. It's been that case for the last couple of nights as well, thanks to that southwesterly wind that's going to keep blowing into tonight as well. We do have a small rain chance, about a 20% chance for a lingering shower ahead of the front that's about to move through. Wind gusts are going to be about 15 miles per hour. The wind speeds out of the southwest around 10 miles per hour, so a bit breezy and mostly cloudy skies once again with a low of 67 degrees. Yes, a low of 67. So here's a look into the overnight hours. Here's those scattered showers. They're going to be very light and very short in duration. This is going to stay consistent through our Friday morning. This is at 6 a.m. Could see some spotty showers in our northern areas. We're going to move on throughout the day Friday. More scattered rain, especially near Highway 84 and the coastline. Good portion of us will stay drier during the day, and then as we get into the evening, could see some showers develop near the I-10 corridor and staying consistent near Highway 84 in our more northern areas near Jackson, Thomasville, Coffeyville, as well as Evergreen. And then going into our Saturday morning, a little bit of a dry spell before we get more rain into Saturday afternoon. And then this is at 5 a.m. We have a little bit of a drier hour. Then we're going to have scattered showers going into the afternoon. Some of those could be stronger as well, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Forecast lows tomorrow morning, well above average. We're going to be in the mid to upper 60s with a muggy feel and breezy conditions. Day planner for our day for our Friday, mostly cloudy skies, pretty consistent with what we're seeing today. Temperatures near 80 degrees once again. Rain chances do continue to increase as we go into our Saturday. 40% chance for our Friday, 50% chance for our Saturday. Dry out on Sunday with northerly winds coming in. Here's a look at that rain chance going into our weekend. We saw those scattered showers for our Friday. That stays pretty consistent like we saw on our HRRR. This is our long range model to give you an idea for our Saturday. We could see some stronger storms with this little one moving through. Yes, that's going to be ahead of the cold front, so we could see some gusty winds, heavy downpours, and maybe some hail. And then that front leaves our area into the early morning hours on Sunday, bringing us that dry, cold northerly air. So what is that going to do for us? It changes our temperatures. We're going to be well above average, near 80 degrees until Saturday. Then we're going to have some colder temperatures moving into early next week. Then we transition back into mild temperatures on Wednesday. But the real kicker is going to be our morning lows. We're going to be near below freezing, especially on Tuesday. We're going to be back into the 30s Monday, Tuesday, as well as Wednesday. So a couple of chilly nights there, but luckily for our 7-day forecast, it looks to be on the temporary side. Warm end to our week. Next rain chance on Saturday, maybe some stronger storms on Saturday as well. Then cold weather settles in for our Monday, then back into a more warmer feel starting on Wednesday of next week.
All right, Hannah, thank you. 11:23 now. Next up on Fox 10 Midday, a truck is caught on cam flying through the early morning hours in Oregon. We have much more of this shocking video on your screen when we come back. You're watching Fox 10 Midday. Welcome back. This newly released video behind me here shows a pickup truck flying through the air and crashing into an Oregon home in the middle of the night. Incredibly, though, no one was hurt. Watch this video as a pickup truck went airborne after hitting a dirt mound, clearing a retaining wall, and flying roughly 100 feet into the night sky before landing in front of this very house. In fact, homeowner David came down the stairs at 3 a.m. to hear what caused a loud boom and his home to shake. The front of his house, the bathroom, just a crumpled mess.
And I'm like, what's going on? Like I must be in a sleep stupor or something. I can't process like what I'm seeing in front of me.
5, including 3 children, all unharmed though. The 2 inside the truck, officers say, were taken to the hospital with some minor injuries. The driver of the pickup managed to climb out of the wreckage and he was arrested for reckless driving. And listen to this, a police chase in Wisconsin had an interesting spin Tuesday night. Authorities say a suspect stripped off his clothes and stole an ambulance with a patient still inside. Wisconsin Rapids police received a call about a man causing a scene in the general area roughly 20 minutes before the ambulance was stolen.
He had disrobed and was doing push-ups near some railroad tracks and yelling obscenities, things like that. The officers were responding to deal with that situation.
Also at that time, the ambulance was parked outside of a residence where a patient was being tended to by paramedics from the Rapids Fire Department. The 2 paramedics were with the patient in the back of the ambulance when Benjamin Feltz entered the driver's seat. The pursuit covered 18 miles and lasted over 40 minutes long. Officials said the patient inside the ambulance did make it to a hospital for treatment, and thankfully no injuries were reported here. Just a wild story. It is 11:28 now. Coming up, Nestle sells its ice cream business. We have that story and more coming up in your business headlines. Plus, all aboard in Foley, the city giving out free train rides today. We'll bring you those details after the break, but first, Hannah, a quick check on our forecast out there.
It's going to be a warm day, and it's going to be warm going into this weekend with breezy conditions and slightly humid. But once that front moves through on Sunday, we'll be well below average, especially for our morning lows, getting close to below freezing. Luckily, it's only temporary, and warmer conditions starting on Wednesday, where it looks to be, will be above average once again. We'll have more details on your forecast and more Fox 10 Midday coming up after this.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back in at 11:30. It's time for your half-hour headlines today. First up, Cleveland Guardians pitchers Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase pled not guilty in court. Both are being charged for accepting payoffs to help 2 gamblers win money on in-game prop bets. The bets involve the speed and outcomes of certain pitches, and the gamblers won more than $460,000. Clase and Ortiz have been on non-disciplinary paid leave since July now. The indictment was unsealed on Friday, but it contained no new charges. A third person was also charged in the criminal complaint and pleaded not guilty there. And then locally, tensions boiled over at a Chickasaw public hearing over the city's only hotel. Police say they've responded to excessive 911 calls at the M-Star Hotel over the past year. Some residents want the business license revoked due to crime and safety concerns. Fire and police officials say the building failed a safety inspection as well. The hotel's attorney says owners have added 29 cameras and increased security lately. Others, though, want the city to give owners time to fix problems. The city council made no decision at last night's meeting and will schedule another meeting to discuss the ideas in the future. And finally, drivers in Baldwin County will see continued construction next to Highway 98 near Fish River for the next few months. Baldwin County is expanding the Eastern Shore Trail east of the Fish River Bridge and should be complete by late summer. The $2.1 million project is being paid for completely by federal funds. In our business news today, Walmart groceries are in demand. Tariffs weigh on John Deere and a sweet shakeup at Nestle. Fox's CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's Fox Business Briefs.
Shoppers are heading to Walmart for groceries. The retail giant's new CEO, John Furner, wrapped up a strong holiday quarter with sales of 4.6%. Walmart also made money from advertising in the period. However, general merchandise sales slowed, and Walmart says consumers continue to spend cautiously, especially on non-grocery items. Deere's profit declined in recent months. The maker of heavy machinery and agricultural equipment says it was dragged down by tariffs and weak tractor demand. However, Chief Executive John May says he's seeing signs of recovery in construction and agriculture. Nestle is selling its ice cream business to Froneri joint venture. Its brands include Häagen-Dazs, Dreyer's, and Nestle. The company will also sell its Perrier and San Pellegrino water brands by the end of the year. Nestle wants to focus on coffee, pet care, nutrition, and food. Meanwhile, San Pellegrino launching 2 new flavors, strawberry crema and cherry sorbetto. The brand says the new lineup is low-calorie with a boost of vitamin B6 and magnesium for a modern twist on Italian soda. The new drinks are on Amazon and rolling out at retailers now. Salute! CJ Papa, Fox News.
Taking another look at the Daphne camera, if you were here just about 15 minutes ago, you could actually see what this camera was showing. Well, this is our Daphne camera where it looks like at the Bayway, and you cannot see anything out there. It is warm out there and the water temperatures are cold, so that is one of the reasons we are seeing fog developing. And with cloudy skies, when the clouds happen, it does not allow for fog to escape. It almost just keeps it in place. And when we don't have much wind speed either, which that will not really occur until noon today. Southeast winds around 6 miles per hour. You can still see it on our Admiral camera. There is definitely some fog out there, so make sure you are careful if you are driving across the Bayway. Make sure you give yourself some extra space between the car in front of you. And then also do not use your high beams either. Just be extra cautious out there. Temperatures, though, 69 degrees. It's not even noon and we're already into the 70s. Our dew points are not helping us out either. There's added on moisture, so it's a little humid out there. We're feeling those water particles in the air that is contributing to our fog as well. Feels like temperature is not adjusted. Current conditions across the area, though, still seeing those cloudy skies. 69 degrees in downtown Mobile, 73 in Fairhope, 74 in Mobile Regional, 77 over in Evergreen, and 73 in Pensacola. Our almanac for today, 80 degrees. Yes, 80 degrees in this morning, well above average as well, 63 when the normal is usually 45 degrees for a low this time of year. Feeling more like the actual normal temperature for our highs. We're getting close to it with their lows, and that's going to be consistent into tonight as well. As you make your way out the door over the next few hours, temperatures are going to continue to climb. We're going to get close to 80 degrees. Some of us in the lower 80s today. Winds are going to continue to pick up as well out of the southwest. 15 miles per hour. Wind gusts about 25 miles per hour. Hopefully that'll help us out with our fog risk right now. Usually the winds can help clear that out a little bit. Well, with cloudy skies, it's a little bit of a slower process. 73 degrees by 5 p.m. Warm into the dinner time hours. Forecast today across the area. 71 in Pascagoula, 80 in Hurley, 83 in Leakesville. Moving into our more inland areas, we'll have a high of 81 81 in Jackson, 80 in Thomasville, 82 in Coffeyville, 81 in Beatrice, 81 in Evergreen, and 80 over in Atmore. Moving into Mobile and Baldwin County, we'll have a high of 80 here in Mobile, 69 over in Dauphin Island, 79 in Tanner Williams, 82 in Mount Vernon, 80 in Robertsdale, and 76 over in Gulf Shores. Then moving into Northwest Florida, we'll have a high of 78 in Pensacola, 82 in Jay, 81 in Crestview, 77 in Navarre, 76 in Niceville, and 73 over in Destin. It's going to be warm tonight as well, a little warmer than what we saw last night, 67 degrees, approaching 70 degrees for a low overnight tonight. Breezy conditions, could see some passing showers as well, with mostly cloudy skies, and that breeze continues on. Tomorrow morning, our lows will be in the mid to upper 70s across the area, so definitely feeling like it did this morning. It basically copying and pasting what we saw today into our Friday. We're tracking our next rain chance. Rain chances are going to continue to increase as our next front approaches, which will be on Saturday. Then we dry out on Sunday, but right behind it, we transition into a winter feel. We're going to be below average, 66 degrees this time of year. We're going to be near 61 on Sunday, into the 50s on Monday. Then our lows are not looking all that great either. We're going to be in the 30s for our lows, but luckily it's going to be a little bit more temporary. We're going to be on the chilly side for about 3 days, then back into above average temperatures going into Wednesday and into next weekend.
All right, great to know there, Hannah. Thank you for that update. Well, on this Thursday, the Mobile Arena construction is moving along as planned, and it looks like a lot has been accomplished in recent weeks. Take a look. Construction crews installed red brick along the exterior this week, and the arena is being built on the old Civic Center site in downtown Mobile. City leaders say construction is on schedule for a Mardi Gras 2027 opening, and that's a hard deadline, by the way. According to Visit Mobile, Mardi Gras generates about $300 million for our local economy. We're told the new arena will seat approximately 10,000 people and is expected to restore Mobile's ability to attract major entertainment tours. So some exciting news there. Not only that, the Mobile City Council voted to move $2 million to a capital fund for improvements at the Alabama Cruise Terminal. The money will pay for new fenders to protect cruise ships from damage while docking. It's an unbudgeted expense that will come from leftover money in last year's budget. Councilman Ben Reynolds joined his colleagues in voting yes, but not without concerns. Reynolds suggested using parking revenue or tourism-related funds instead of general fund money. While the city's chief operations officer, James Barber, said the fender system wasn't expected to fail when the budget was prepared. Barber noted the city is getting a larger ship and the current system is already inadequate. And it's been 6 months now since passenger rail service returned to the Gulf Coast. This year's carnival season marked the first Mardi Gras with Amtrak service in over 2 decades. The shutdown, you might remember, followed Hurricane Katrina. Amtrak's Mardi Gras service leaves from Mobile with one train at 6:30 in the morning and a second train leaving at 4:30 in the afternoon. The train runs twice a day from Mobile to New Orleans with 4 stops in Mississippi. And if you're looking for something fun and free to do with the family today, the Foley Event Train is making special holiday runs. It's all happening at Heritage Park. The train operates until 2 p.m. with passengers boarding at the Foley Railroad Museum. We're told rides are free and open to the public. Each trip lasts roughly 15 to 20 minutes as the train circles the park. The train features about 4 passenger cars, with each car able to carry up to 4 people. And families were excited to ride around that area.
Really fun. I haven't been on there in a long time.
Oh, it was great. I love the train. We live pretty local, so it's great to get to come over here, and this is such a beautiful service that they offer for, our community and for our visitors.
And the train typically runs on Saturdays throughout the year, with additional Tuesday and Thursday rides offered during school holidays in the summer, in case you can't make it to today's event. Straight ahead here on Fox 10 Midday, the Queen of Clean shows us how to get rid of carpet stains. Maybe something you want to pay attention to with your spring cleaning. Plus, the first YouTube video is on display. We'll tell you where you can see it when we come back. Your Midday Talkers are next. Welcome back. Hannah, it's pretty warm outside. Maybe some people are doing that much needed spring cleaning. And if you have carpet in your home, you know just how hard it can be to get those stains out.
Well, the Queen of Clean shows us a simple and cheap way to get rid of those pesky stains.
Right?
I bet if I say to you, what's the worst thing about carpet? You're yelling back at me, it's the spots, the stains, the spills. Things like ketchup, cola, tea, coffee. They're hard to get out, but with my secrets, they're easy. First of all, on a fresh stain, you want to pour on club soda. The carbonation will bubble it up and the salts will keep it from staining. Pour it on and simply blot, blot, blot. But if you have a stain that you can't get out, here's my great carpet spotter. You're going to take 1/2 cup of hydrogen peroxide, 1 teaspoon of ammonia. Put it into a squirt top bottle. Squirt it onto the stain, let it sit about half an hour to an hour, then come in and blot, 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 and you can repeat it if necessary. And no, it won't take the color out of the rug. Now, the only thing I can recommend to make the work with the carpet easier is make sure your husband's doing the vacuuming. For more information, go to queenofclean.com. Thanks for talking dirty with the Queen of Clean.
Good reminder to clean your carpets there. I do not have carpet in my house for that reason. It's all hardwood floors, so thankfully won't have to do that this spring.
Well, I have dogs, so carpet is a big no-no.
So you still got to sweep.
Yes, but you still got to sweep. Dog hairs everywhere.
Get your cleaning done.
Maybe we should do a Queen of Clean for the dogs later.
Hey, that might be helpful.
Right?
Well, listen to this. It's been more than 20 years now since YouTube came online. That's hard to believe.
That is hard to believe. And now a museum in London is preserving part of that history.
The Victoria and Albert Museum is displaying a reconstruction of an early YouTube webpage from 2006.
It features the first video ever shown on the platform.
Me at the Zoo is a 19-second clip of then 25-year-old YouTube co-founder Jad Karim talking about elephants.
The museum says it took 18 months to rebuild the page.
I'll be honest, never seen this video.
I've never seen this video either. Also, I knew YouTube came out when I was younger. I didn't realize
we were alive when YouTube came out.
We were alive when it came out. I'm not saying we weren't alive, but I didn't realize how young I was.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
We were very young.
I was 2.
Yeah, well, we grew up with YouTube
We
as
did
well.
grow
And
up with YouTube.
I know that those longer YouTube videos phasing out a little bit more and being replaced by more short form content like Instagram, TikTok, etc. But YouTube was my childhood.
I remember when it came as an app on your phone, like the typical weather app, your FaceTime app, your text message. YouTube had its own app, like that came on the phone.
Life-changing for us. We're a little cultured there, okay? Well, listen to this story now. Abandoned at birth in Ichikawa City Zoo in Japan, this 6-month-old monkey found comfort in a stuffed orangutan and won thousands of hearts online, I'm sure.
He won my heart. I saw him on social media last night. This is Punch. The 6-month-old Japanese monkey was abandoned by his mother at birth, but zookeepers stepped in, caring for him day and night by hand.
Aw, and his surrogate mom, a plushy orangutan that is now his safe place and stand-in for his mother's fur.
Punch's story went viral with many, both on and offline, cheering him on.
And now he is slowly joining the troop, but obviously still clings to his stuffed friend there. My favorite part about this is that his orangutan is bigger than him.
I know, it just warms my heart. This was all over my TikTok and Facebook feed, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry, because the one video I saw was he took the arm of the stuffed orangutan and like put it around him.
That is
I was like, I'm gonna cry.
And
like,
monkeys have just an intelligence like
they
no other
really
animal,
do.
too.
And I did see there is an update that one of the other monkeys in that sanctuary has actually taken in Punch.
No way.
Yes.
Oh.
I hope that's true. I think that is true. I saw that update when I was doom scrolling on social media this morning.
Now I want to go watch some more videos.
Right? We might have to look it up on our next break.
I love it. Listen, thank you for staying with us and listening to our stories today. It is 11:49 now on your Thursday. Hannah, it's a beautiful day at Dauphin Island.
It really is, and finally some sunshine out there. It was quite overcast. We saw some fog this morning as well. Luckily, that looks to have been slowly clearing out, and maybe a more pleasant afternoon. We'll finally see some sunshine. We'll have another look at your weather and a little bit more of Fox 10 Midday coming up after this break.
All right, welcome back in. We have some shocking video showing a sports car slamming into a school bus. The crash caught on camera, prompting a warning from local authorities. Patrick Cornell has this story and more in today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at the moment a Jaguar smashes into the back of a school bus in Lee County, Florida. According to the sheriff's office, no students were on the bus at the time of the crash. The bus driver taken to the hospital for minor injuries. The driver of the sports car cited for following too closely. The sheriff's office sharing the video to social media, saying they're increasing patrols in the area to curb reckless driving, writing, "The safety of our students going to and from school is our top priority." Check out this poor pup that had a little car trouble of its own. Little canine got its head caught in a wheel. Fresno County, California firefighters showed up on the scene to save the day, eventually freeing the pooch from the predicament. According to a post on Facebook, they say the dog made it out unharmed and a little embarrassed. Another dog is now in safe hands after police say it was abandoned at the Las Vegas airport. Police published this video showing a passenger arriving with the Golden Doodle in tow. In a statement, police say the woman didn't fill out paperwork to fly with the pup as a service dog, so she was denied a boarding pass. Police say the woman left the animal tied right there at the ticket counter and went to her gate. Airport workers gave the dog some scratches while authorities tracked down the owner inside the airport. Once officers found her, according to police, she claimed the dog had a tracking device suggesting she could leave it behind and it would return to her. She was arrested and booked for animal abandonment and resisting arrest. The dog, nicknamed Jet Blue, is now with a rescue organization. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Hannah
Let's
and
go
I
get
are
that
like
dog.
crying watching these sad dog stories.
We're
today.
gonna go get that. Both of those dogs that were in that story, they are coming home with both of us.
absolutely.
Our dogs need
Safe
siblings.
hands. That's so sad.
How do you? He has a tracking device that'll leave.
What a cutie too.
And they both were adorable.
We could talk about that for
We
hours.
could,
for
and
sure.
we're not going to because we'll be here for a while.
I start to cry.
Let's take a look at our weather right now. Over the next 12-hour period, we saw some pretty decent fog and up until the last hour. It's slowly been dissipating in certain areas. Over the bay, it got pretty bad. Probably still some lingering fog there, so be extra cautious if you're going out and about for your lunch break. But we could see some more sunshine going into the lunchtime hours. Thankfully, it was kind of doom and gloomy looking this morning. We're going to have a breeze as well that's picking up. Gusty winds around 15 to 25 miles per hour today. That's going to stay consistent into this weekend ahead of our next front moving through, which means we do have some rain chances coming in for Friday and Saturday. We're going to see some scattered showers for Saturday and into the overnight hours tonight. And then we could see some thunderstorms, especially near Highway 84. Could see some stronger thunderstorms as well near the afternoon hours. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But just some gusty winds, some heavy downpours is what we're watching. Then we dry out for Sunday as well as Monday because we have those dry northerly winds coming in, which does bring in a huge temperature change for us. So it's going to be well above average, about 80 degrees over the next couple of days. And once that front moves through on Saturday overnight hours into Sunday, we're going to be dropping in temperature. You're going to feel the difference right away. Going to be in the 60s, even 50 degrees on Monday, which is well below average. Luckily, though, this little shot of winter looks to be our last one, crossing our fingers, but it's going to be a lot shorter than what we've been seeing, and then we're going to go back to well above average temperatures starting that Wednesday. One thing I did want to note is our morning lows are going to be in the 30s. Yes, 30s, some of us even below freezing. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We have some chilly mornings going into Monday as well as Tuesday. Warmer temperatures do arrive on our Wednesday, so just a little bit of a short winter, it looks like. I'll take that, but I'm ready to be done with the cold.
I was about to say, Punxsutawney Phil better not be right. That's all I'm saying. We want to thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday on this Thursday, Friday Eve. We will see you right back here for Fox 10 Live starting at 3, leaving you with a live look into downtown Mobile.